Here are a few more Apple news stories. Let me show you what they are. All right, welcome back to my channel. And what I want to do this week is, like I've done a few other weeks, is I just go through some news stories from Apple, just to tell you some kind of new product news, or it's just information about Apple in general, like revenue and a whole bunch of different topics. Let me know if you guys like these videos, because I've done a few of these now and they haven't done the best. So I want to decide if I want to keep these going or not. But what I like to do is I like just to kind of go through and find some new articles, learn more about Apple products, and then I'm just going to let you know what they are. So I'm going to go through, 1 through 7 here, maybe. I think there's 7 of them, and just let you know what I found out there. And if it's interesting to you or not, let me know in the comments at the end of the video. And I'm going to share my screen throughout the video so I can show you what I'm talking about. But without further ado, let's get into this and kind of go through the different news stories and let me know what you think. All right, so the first one I'm going to talk about is pricing on a specific product. Right now on Best Buy, I'm going to share my screen here in a second and you can kind of see some of what I'm talking about. But on Best Buy, they have basically the M1 MacBook Pro, not the Air, but the Pro version, just with the 256 gigabyte SSD. But it's now on sale on Best Buy for $10.99, so under $1,100 for the Pro model. That's pretty unheard of. Again, it's been fluctuating all around, but right now you can save $200 on Best Buy. So just check that out. Check out the pricing and use that as kind of your lowest point. I always tell people, once, mark it down on a piece of paper. Once it gets down to $10.99, if you go in there and it's a little bit higher, you can kind of negotiate down sometimes. Just write down or make a mental note of how low it goes. And then when you go in to buy it, use that as the price point. You can always negotiate. Don't be fooled. All right, and the second one is going to be very similar. It's another kind of price of a product that I'm just kind of relating. It's basically going to be the lowest price on the M1 Mac Mini right now, and it's down to $799. Now that's $799. That's not for the 256, but that's for the 512 gigabyte model. So I had a couple of videos in the past on why this is the best system, I think, in the lineup of M1s. Not only is the cost really good, but now they actually have the 512 gigabyte for, $799, which is a great price. And you can probably even find the one with half that size, 256. I've seen those as low as $599. So keep your eyes open on products like this. Check them out. This one it's just a story that was on Apple Insider. So go to there and you can check it out if you want to pick one up. Let's talk about Tim Cook. And does he make enough money for running Apple? He just became the 8th highest paid executive that's out there right now. And they're saying he's made $265 million in 2020. $265 million in 2020. What do you think? Do you think that's enough money for somebody? Kind of gets me sick when you see that kind of stuff, but what can you do? I mean, obviously, I do think that people should make what they're worth. They are bringing a lot of profits in, which we'll see in the next story or coming up in a couple stories. So tell me what you guys think. Is anyone worth that much money? I think they said Elon Musk was paid billions of dollars, but his actual salary was $595 million. He was number one, but $265 million, is Tim Cook worth that? Or do you think anyone else off the street could do almost as good as a job? All right, if you've been waiting, which I haven't been, but basically you can pick up the Magic Keyboard now with the Touch ID as a separate kind of standalone item. So before you had to buy it with the actual M1 MacBook Pro, or not MacBook Pro, the iMac, but now you can actually pick them up separately, so you can actually go and buy them. The cost is, it looks like it's $179, it's just quite high, for the actual full keyboard version with the numeric keypad on the side. Or it's it's $129 for kind of the shortened keyboard or the smaller keyboard. So what do you think? Is that going to be way too much for a keyboard? $179 just because it has Touch ID? I don't know. I mean, it seems really high to me. I mean, you can almost pick up a Chromebook for that or something. So for me, it's a hard sell. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, the next story is going to be about Apple and Apple speakers. We're talking more about the kind of the HomePod and things like that. So it really has been that they have not been able to take off in that category. I'm going to show you a graph here now, and you can kind of see the graph. So let's go over to that. You can see how everything's growing here, but the Amazon basically speakers are really dominating the field. And then Google Home comes in second, you can see there. And then Apple HomePod is third, but you can see the really small percentage of that line that they make up there. I mean, they're really making up, what is that? I could probably get the statistic, but it's probably 10%, if even that, 5% of the market. So you let me know, why aren't people buying those and why are they going with Amazon? I think it has to do with just being able to order stuff and stuff like that online maybe, or just the ease of using them, or what's the built-in functionality. Let me know in the comments why you think that they're so far behind on the speakers, when that's probably something that they actually want to get a lot, into that field, because a lot of people buy things through there. They learn a lot of information through there, which maybe I don't agree with, but I'm sure they want to be there, and they just can't kind of crack that nut right now. All right, this next story is from 9to5Mac, and what they're basically saying is they kind of dove into Big Sur, and they've seen, it's basically called the True Depth camera is coming. And what that basically means is they've basically found the software behind actually adding Face ID to the Macs. So they think it's coming. They think it's being tested right now. So if you're waiting for Face ID on a Mac computer, they still think it's a little bit in the future. It could still be a year or two away, believe it or not. They should have it already, shouldn't they? But at least they think they're doing it according to 9to5Mac here. Check out 9to5Mac if you want. You can read the whole story, but it's going to be a little while, but at least it's coming sooner or later. All right, so this next story is going to be very similar to the Tim Cook. It's basically saying that although he had a $260 million salary, Apple's revenue, I think they went into the 6th position for the biggest companies right now. And it's reporting that they have about $274 billion in revenue and 57.4 billion, not million, billion in profit. So when you have, 274 billion in revenue and 50-something billion of that is going to be pure profit. You can see what position they're in to do whatever they want. So again, just wanted to show you that they're moving up the scale with profitability and stuff like that. So hopefully they can give us all a break and maybe lower some of their costs on stuff, or at least make sure their equipment doesn't stink and smell when you open it up. Like I had a video on, check out my past video about my MacBook Air really stinking as far as the smell of it, like a chemical. What can you do? Hopefully they can get the cost down and everything and help people out, but not too bad for the revenue. And then the last story basically is something that people probably want to know about, is it looks like Apple's trying to get bigger batteries in their iPhones, iPads, and MacBooks, and they're doing it through peripheral. It says basically here, I'll go ahead and read it to you. We'll go cut to the screen so you can see what they're talking about. But it says they're adopting slimmer peripheral chips. So basically what that's going to do is it's going to slim the chips in the systems down. They're making sure that they can get them as slim as possible, which is going to free up some space for extended batteries. Looks like they're working on that pretty actively right now. So I guess one of their kind of outcomes of this is going to be significantly better battery life in hopefully the coming years, if not the coming months. So we'll see if that's actually true for the next version of it. Looks like they're working on it though. So if you're one of those people that can't even get a full day out of your iPhone, like a lot of people out there, hopefully this is going to solve that, and let me know if it's going to help you out and if that's a plus. All right, we're just going to wrap up this video. So that's some news from Apple. Hopefully you guys like the content. Again, I'm just kind of looking at the news, kind of reporting it. You can sit back and watch it. Some of these stories are going to be interesting. Some of them are not really going to help you too much. I understand that, but it's just kind of fun to know. Fun to know how much Tim Cook makes and how much revenue Apple's making in profit. So let me know in the comments if I should change it up. Do you guys like these or not? Because like I said, the first couple I haven't done that well. Just trying to make some good content out there. And I gotta, it's hard to come up with something every single week. So having one of these every so often is good and easy for me because I can find content. I can easily report on it. So I like making them, but you tell me, is it worth your time? Put it in the comments. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you can. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.